All right, so I'm on my way to work for the 17th day in a row. 17 days of a minimum 9 hours. So far, a max of 13 hours as we march towards this election. It is now September, whenever the hell, I don't even know what day it is. But point is, okay, I was thinking of something while I was driving here. Just it's weird. I can zone out without crashing, like just on autopilot, I guess, with this thing. And what I was thinking of is there is not going to be an excuse for, I don't know what I'm going to title this, but there's not going to be an excuse for the Gen Z ladies, females, women, whatever is the correct term that won't piss off whoever, I don't know, biological females born with a naturally occurring vagina, okay? Let's shit. That still currently has, fucking hell. There's not going to be any excuse for them. See, this whole feminist indoctrination, I'm not going to give any mercy to the women before them, but what I will say in their credit is things weren't the way they are right now, as far as the internet, as far as where you're seeing this, be it YouTube, where it's going to be posted, or whoever might take it and post it on wherever else, TikTok or wherever, okay. Maybe some compilation mashup, right? However, Gen Y women on back, well, Gen Y pretty much kind of doesn't really have an excuse either, considering back in 2005 when YouTube started, you know, they were where Gen Z is now, so, you know, they kind of had something. But, you know, this kind of talk wasn't so prevalent, okay? And, of course, Gen X women and Boomer women, okay, all the way back. But Gen Z women forward, they have no fucking excuse. None. They can't sit here and say they didn't know. They can't sit here and say they swallowed the feminist indoctrination because they were Britain. No. There's way too many men and women excuse me, saying nothing of the actual change my hands here, saying nothing of the actual real life, just go out in real life and see the shit not working, see the feminist foolishness not working. They're telling you to be adversarial to men, is how we will say it, okay? And it's not working for you. Okay? It is not working. Because on one hand, you're sitting here competing with men, but on the other hand, you still want men to do the traditional manly stuff that benefits you, without you having to do the traditional female stuff that benefits men. And God forbid you be sexually pleasing or appealing to heterosexual men. Okay? Okay. Gen Z women and whatever the hell comes after them will have no excuse, because there is way too much out here showing them how this does not work. Even if they don't want to do the traditional stuff, this non-traditional thing is not working. So it's up to them maybe to find something new. I don't know what that's gonna be, but they need to find something new since this doesn't work. Okay? I am not really sure why women have been hanging on to this ball-busting, pro-female, anti-male, don't need no man, end of men foolishness. I don't know why they're hanging on to it. Because what I've been finding out with this entire thing is that you have women of today demonizing and trying to exterminate men of today, up to and God forbid including literally biologically exterminate, but socially exterminate, maybe financially exterminate, whatever, you know, politically, legally exterminate. You have women of today demonizing men of today and punishing men of today over what women of the past supposedly went through with men of the past. I was born February 20th, 1987 in Jamaica, not here, but as soon as I got here, 1993, 5 years old, from kindergarten, I was immediately hit with the feminist indoctrination. Okay? I was immediately hit with it. Now, of course, it wasn't anywhere near as strong as it is now, obviously, but it was still there. And of course, you know, we didn't know what the hell it was at the time, so it's like, all right, whatever. But my thing is, when did, from Gen Y men on down, when did we get a chance to oppress women? When did we get a chance to sit there and just do all the things that feminism and women as a whole claim that men as a whole are doing? When did we get a chance to do any of that shit? When did we get a chance to financially oppress women and keep them, like, how in the hell are, where, you know what, this was a separate video, and I might actually still make a separate video about this. Who's doing the rapes? In fact, that's going to be the title of that video if I do it. Who is doing the rapes? You're sitting, I mean, hell, there's so many studies out here saying that the vast majority of men, especially Gen Y on down, are not having sex, not getting any ass, not having any kind of sexual touch. I'm sorry, but rape, legit rape, not, oh my God, I regret it later, so now it's rape. No. We're talking about actual rape from the start, like some irreversible, last house on the left, drag her off into a back room, and yeah, that legit standard issue classic rape, okay? That is considered sexual touch, oh well, to the nth fucking degree. But according to all of these different studies and shit, they aren't doing it. Is this? Okay, no, it's not a cop. Gen Y men and probably even more Gen Z men, they're not having sex, the vast majority of them. They're not having any kind of sexual contact. So that includes rape. So who's doing all the fucking rapes that these women are complaining about? And in complaining about that, you still have women out here, oh my God, we picked the bear, we'd rather be we'd rather be with a bear than a dude. Okay. But where are all the men? How come men aren't approaching us? Stay away from us. How come men aren't approaching us? How come, right? How the hell does that work? Who is doing the rapes if the vast majority of men aren't even coming near women, much less, you know? You're punishing men of today, Gen Y and Gen Z men, when we didn't get a chance to do any of the shit that women are complaining that men do. The vast majority of us. This shit fucking kills me. So I'm seriously trying to figure this out. I am seriously trying to figure this out. I'm trying to figure out why, what, and that is why I'm sitting here saying, boomer women can sit here and say, oh, well, we didn't have what you guys have now, sharing stories and sharing knowledge and all this explosion of knowledge, to quote the Bible. Okay. Not saying this is some end time stuff, although, there wasn't this explosion of knowledge. We didn't have what you guys have. Gen X women can say that. Millennial women can't really say that, considering we grew up, I mean, they want to sit here and say Gen Z is the one that's fully immersed in some shit. We had some stuff as millennials. We had the internet, okay, of course, yes, obviously, it wasn't anywhere near what it is now, but we still had it. So we were actually the very first that was 100% submerged in that shit. We might not have had cell phones until maybe high school, some of us, okay, fine. Whereas I think they probably have them in elementary school now. But so Gen Y women don't have an excuse. Gen Z women have no fucking excuse. Gen Z on down, zero. And considering they're following the dumb shit even more than millennial women and women on back were, I'm not gonna feel sorry for them when they reach Gen X age currently, or boomers age, and start complaining, oh my god, I'm single, I'm childless, at 50 or 60 or whatever the hell, or hell, even in their 40s. I'm like, nah, you all get no mercy, you all get no sympathy. Like, you have way too many people from the guys your age right up to boomers, to Gen X, millennials. You have everybody except for maybe the generation after you telling you, hey, this feminist foolishness is dumb. It's not going to work. It hasn't been needed since probably the first wave, maybe the second. We're now on the fourth or fourth going on fifth, or fifth with the sixth one trying to gear up. Nah. You even have women saying it now. So that's what just popped into my mind as I'm driving here. I'm like, and of course, I've thought of this before, but I just never decided to make a video about it. But I'm just gonna do it right here because I had like 20 something minutes left before I get to work, according to the GPS. So I'm like, it's just who's doing it? Who is doing all this oppression of? Where does Gen Y and Gen Z males, boys, men, males, whatever, okay? Where does Gen Z and Gen Y penis have the money to be sitting here oppressing you bitches? Like, you need money and power to do that, to oppress people. How the hell are Gen Y and Gen Z boys doing that? But yet they're sitting here getting punishment for shit that has nothing to do with them. It's no different than what Umar Johnson tried to do with black men, trying to blame black men for the state of single mothers with black women and stuff. And I'm just and I'm just thinking to myself, that's not going to work anymore. All of the standard issue talking points against black men, that's not working with Gen Y, and it sure as hell isn't going to work with Gen Z. You can't come at them with that. The vast majority of black men are single and childless. Certainly the vast majority of black men at Gen Y and Gen Z are single and childless. So who the fuck are you sitting here preaching about making bastard babies and creating single mothers and abandoning women with their kids? Like, that's not us. That is not us. I'm 37. I have zero. Hey, go watch my video, a couple videos back. My gloriously epic paternity saga, right? Still at 37, about to be 38 February 20th of 2025, single, well, not single, well, will be soon, but childless. So I don't give a fuck about the single moms and their plight or anything like that, because I didn't help create that shit. And I'm like right in the middle, dead middle millennial, 87, right? So you all need to go yell at perhaps Gen X at the very least, and certainly boomers on back. Maybe if you can find a couple 90, 100-year-old people, silent generation or World War II, whatever the hell, go yell at them too. Okay, but you're not coming, just like Umar et al. Isn't going to be coming at Gen Y and Gen Z black men here and anything. That's why those older generations of black dudes are losing ground. They're losing it. They are losing ground. All the shit they talk about isn't helping Gen Y and Gen Z black men with anything. Same exact thing applies to just men as a whole with women and feminism and all that shit. It's not working. You're not going to sit here and be talking to Gen Y and Gen Z men talking about, oh my God, well, women are just getting raped every single day and sexually harassed every single day, when the vast majority of them aren't. The vast majority of dudes aren't getting sex. The vast majority of dudes aren't talking to women, so much so that you have infinite amount of videos of women bitching, how come guys aren't approaching us? How come guys aren't talking to us? How come guys, we're all the real men. We're all the protectors and providers and all that dumb shit. Why the fuck are women sitting here making those complaints if they're so busy getting the shit gang raped out of them left and fucking right? There's a gang rape behind every fucking atom in the goddamn universe. How does that work? I am sorry, no, women are not getting sexually harassed every fucking day. No, they are not. Unless you gotta ask yourself, what are they considering sexual harassment? And this is where that whole 1 in 4 statistic that got thoroughly debunked comes in. For anybody who doesn't know, I'll just do a quick recap of that. The woman that came up with that 1 in 4 statistic that is still being used, I think it got down to 1 in 3 now. She did that study, came up with that thing. Well, no, she did that study, couldn't get what she wanted because it just wasn't the case. So she went and redid the study, asking different questions, still couldn't get the results she wanted. So she went and redid it again and asked it in such a way that pretty much any and everything was considered sexual harassment or sexual assault or whatever. And that is how she was able to get her 1 in 4 statistic. Okay? Or okay. And that thing has been output left and right now. And if I'm not mistaken, it was either Christina Hoff Sommers or just some other woman. It was a woman, actually, from what I understand. Not even men, but a woman that went and, for lack of a better term, clapped back on that thing so much and went and actually looked at how the study was conducted. This is why you got to be real careful of science says, studies show, statistics prove, therefore it is. Got to be real fucking careful. She's like, wait a minute, the way this thing was done and the questions asked, everything could be considered sexual harassment or rape or assault or whatever. And this thing got slammed, that study got slammed so much that the person who came up with that study, I mean, this study came out in what, the 70s, I believe? So the woman is still alive, if not mistaken. She's still alive. She went and said in an interview, it could have been done better. That's not something you say to something that you did neutrally, fairly, with integrity, and you got the results objectively, and you got the objective, raw results. That's not something you say. The most you say is, okay, well, let's redo the study again for today's day and age. But you don't say, oh, it could have been done better. Then why wasn't it done better? Right? Why was it not done better? I mean, it's not because, oh my God, well, we have new things, new ways of doing stuff now. No, research has not changed. Research methods haven't changed. More or less, quote unquote, scientific method has been around since what, the Middle Ages? Okay, so no, you went and you did it probably the correct way and couldn't get what you wanted, so you went and redid it, tweaking stuff to match what you want. You still couldn't get it. You had to redo it you had to redo it twice. You had to do the thing 3 times to get what you wanted, so you can output the objective that, oh my God, all women are just in trouble left and right. There's less men in college now than ever before, yet somehow there's still just all this fucking rape on campus of women. Really? Who's doing the rapes? Just fuck. Just as I said before. But the feminist thing is, oh, the men are still doing the rapes and this and... But yet, why won't men talk to... Ladies, you have no excuse. Gen Y women, and especially Gen Z women on down, have no fucking excuse. None. Gen Y and Gen Z men are too busy trying to fucking survive. They don't have the money, they don't have the power, they don't have the ability to oppress you bitches. Like, we aren't the ones doing it. And if we're gonna sit here and get punished for all this stuff, hey, we'd at least like to be able to do it. All right, if you're gonna sit here and punish me for rape, yeah, I need to be able to bust a fucking nut first. Balls deep in some pussy before you go trying to accuse me of some shit, right? But you're not about to sit here and tell me that because male, oh, guilt by association. No. I'm oppressing you. With what money? How the hell am I oppressing you? I'm sitting here fighting this retard Maryland traffic, trying to get to work, working on this fucking election. Who the fuck am I oppressing right now? The fact that I'm here going into work means that I am not one of the fucking elites that don't need to work to live, which means I probably do not have the fuck. This dude better get in the fuck in the back. Which means I do not have the fucking power to oppress you. Like, I'm sorry, people that are able to oppress on a significant level, they don't go to work. They don't fight traffic like this at 8:18 in the morning, okay? They at least wait until traffic is done, till rush hour is done, before they get to oppressing, before they get to raping, before they get to pillaging, whatever. I have no sympathy for Gen Y, Gen Z women. And I don't have any sympathy for the older generations either, because they're the ones that allowed this shit to keep going instead of stopping it. Now, I don't expect whichever generation is after Gen Z to even even see this video, much less understand it. But if by some chance, considering every generation supposedly gets smarter, supposedly, or I guess maybe have more cognitive ability than the previous generation, supposedly, maybe. Then again, maybe they're just younger versus older with age, you know? If by some luck and chance, the generation coming after Gen Z sees this video, to you future ladies, little girls, do not, if you hear anything anti-male, disregard it. Ignore it. If you hear the word feminism, run. Turn the other direction and run. That's literally all I can say at this point. And that's it. Later.